In the true INSEAD spirit, a very good morning, afternoon, evening, or even night, dear MIM class of 2021, parents, partners, family members, friends, INSEAD faculty, staff, and alumni. It is our pleasure to welcome you today to the virtual commencement ceremony of the first ever batch of Masters in Management class at INSEAD. Thank you for joining us from around the world and for being with us as we celebrate this special day, our commencement from INSEAD. We had big plans, naturally, of doing this in person, but if there's one thing that we've learned from the past year, it is that the wise adapt themselves to circumstances just as water molds itself to the pitcher it is contained in. Hence, Zoom being the pitcher in this case, let's all be very excited for today's extravaganza. My name is Bhavish Agrawal.
My name is Muriel Jacques, and together we'll have the privilege to introduce our speakers to you today and be your virtual hosts in this moment of celebration. But before we start, we're all used to Zoom meeting at this point, some more than others, but let's go over some housekeeping rules. First, you will be muted during the entire ceremony. And second, unlike in our classes, we encourage you to be simultaneously present on social media and share our celebratory moments using the hashtag INSEAD Commencement. Should you have any technical issues, our trusted IT team is available at the address on the screen to provide you with assistance.
It is now my honor to introduce our first speaker, our Dean of INSEAD, Professor Ilian Mihov. Professor Ilian Mihov was appointed Dean of INSEAD on 1st of October 2013. He is concurrently the Rousing Chair Professor of Economic and Business Transformation. His expertise is in macroeconomics with a focus on monetary policy, fiscal policy, and economic growth. He is a fellow at the Center of Economic Policy Research and Vice President of the Asian Bureau of Finance and Economic Research. Currently, he is a board member of the Singapore Economic Development Board, ADB, the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business, AACSB, Singapore American School, SAS, and other advisory boards. He was a member of the Scientific Committee of the Banque de France Research Foundation, the Advisory Board of the Bulgarian National Bank, and the World Economic Forum's Global Agenda Council on Fiscal Crisis. He holds a PhD from Princeton University and a BSc in Business Administration from the Moore School of Business at the University of South Carolina, where in 2006, he was recognized as a distinguished young alumnus. At INSEAD, he has been recognized several times with the Outstanding Teacher Award. In 2018, he won the UN Women Single Chapter He for She Leader Award for his outstanding service and contributions towards gender equality at INSEAD. In 2020, he was also appointed chair of the board at Principles for Responsible Management Education, PRME, a UN Global Compact initiative. Please welcome the man, the legend, Professor Ilian Mihov.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this very, very kind introduction. Dear class of 2021, I'm delighted to be here today to celebrate your commencement. Of course, I also want to welcome the parents, the partners, family, friends, and the INSEAD community members who have joined us for this event. I want to start by congratulating you, our MIM students today, for reaching this stage in your program. You have already overcome many obstacles and accomplished many firsts in your time at INSEAD. As the first cohort to undertake this new Master in Management program, you're also the first students to engage with virtual learning, as well as the first ones that will take the field trip to our San Francisco hub. To put it mildly, this was a challenging year, and yet you demonstrated a sense of optimism, resilience, enthusiasm to learn, and your entrepreneurial spirit that has allowed you to overcome all these obstacles and actually to thrive. Indeed, you proved to be true pioneers in the very best traditions of INSEAD. From launching the world's first one-year MBA program in 1959, pioneering executive education in the 1960s in Europe, and from welcoming PhD students in the 1980s, and then opening our Asia campus here 20 years ago, INSEAD's history is one of constant innovation, evolution, featuring many landmark moments. It is a legacy of our founders. This entrepreneurial spirit is a legacy of our founders. The willingness to experiment and the boldness to take risks and manage the results of our actions are a part of our school's DNA. It has helped us become constant innovator and a genuine pioneer in the field of business education. Upon completing the professional experience component of your degree in a few months, you will become the latest addition to this list of groundbreaking milestones. You'll be the first Master in Management graduates at INSEAD. Like our first students who graduated more than 60 years ago, you demonstrated the courage to sign up for a new innovative course that will equip you to become leaders with a global career in business today. Like them, you embrace the spirit of diversity by working together regardless of difference in culture, language, or background. You're a cohort of 32 nationalities, and yet your sense of unity and togetherness has made you a true reflection of INSEAD's tagline as the business school for the world. Furthermore, you have been willing to embrace and commit to the school's core mission, a mission that looks to bring together people, cultures, and ideas to develop responsible leaders who transform business and society. It has been invigorating and inspiring to see the positive attitude and the youthful dynamism that you have brought to your learning experience and to our campuses. Like all true pioneers, you'll be now a source of inspiration for the future MIM classes and actually for our entire community. You should be proud of the trail that you have blazed, a trail that many will now follow. Of course, completing the academic elements of the program is just the beginning of your journey. The important next step will see you take on the work experience element in the course. Now is your opportunity to apply the skills and knowledge that you have learned during the courses at INSEAD and to address many of the challenges that societies are facing. We are living through a period of huge disruption and uncertainty, one that offers up many challenges. The global pandemic, climate crisis, biodiversity loss, increasing social and economic inequality, all present their own set of distinct and very real threats. And yet, I'm an optimist. As you have heard me speak many times about this, we at INSEAD firmly believe that business can be and should be a force for good. By harnessing the innovation and entrepreneurial spirit of the private sector, we can learn the crucial lessons, build the necessary infrastructure, and develop the relevant solutions that will allow us to combat these challenges and help us move towards a more equitable and sustainable society. Thankfully, the world is waking up to these responsibilities. There is an understanding that the goals of business can and should align with the needs of the society and should ensure the sustainability of the planet. Financial institutions are starting to consider seriously the impact of their investments. Startups are developing new sustainable solutions to global problems. And more companies realize that in the process of value creation for the company, they have to create value for the society and integrate sustainability considerations. While this progress is to be applauded, we cannot be complacent. There is still much work to be done, and we still have a long way to go. Business can have only a positive impact if we have the right leaders, innovators, entrepreneurs who, like you, possess the tools and mindsets to drive change and societal progress. Leaders who understand the importance of integrating the sustainable development goals into their strategy and the need to consider the social and environmental impact of every business decision that they make. Not just now, but in the years to come as well. So what is your role? What do we expect as INSEAD? What do we expect of you? Former South African president and statesman Nelson Mandela once said, A good heart and a good head are always a formidable combination. But when you add to that a literate tongue and a pen, then you have something very special. We have no doubt that each one of you has a good heart and a good head. We hope that this program equipped you with the skills and the knowledge, that is the tongue or pen, to go out into the world and do something very special and become something very special. Given our values and our ambition, at INSEAD, something very special means nothing less than change the world for the better. You are now on the path to becoming the business leaders of tomorrow, and you'll have a vital role to play. I therefore urge you to continue to embrace the spirit that has brought you thus far and to turn our present challenges into opportunities. Use the skills, knowledge, and values that you have acquired at INSEAD in order to drive change and become a force for good for the world. On behalf of the faculty and staff at INSEAD, I congratulate you once again on your commencement and keenly anticipate welcoming you into the fold as INSEAD alumni following your graduation later this year. As the inaugural Master in Management class, I look forward to watching you achieve many more firsts in the future. Together, we can be a force for good. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Dean Mihov, for these inspiring words, and I am sure that many of us are looking forward to live up to the trust you and INSEAD have put in us. Our next speaker needs no introduction. Professor Urs Peyer is the Dean of Degree Program and Associate Professor of Finance at INSEAD. He graduated with a PhD in Finance from the University of North Carolina and has joined INSEAD in 2001 as a Professor of Finance before taking up the role of Dean of Degree Programs in 2014. His research interests are in corporate finance and corporate governance. Based on a research paper co-authored with his colleague Theo Vermalen, he's running a small hedge fund, bringing practice and research together. This fund, established with an INSEAD alumni, donates 10% of its outperformance fees to INSEAD. Urs has not always been an academic. Before doing his PhD, he was also a jet pilot in the Swiss Air Force. Please help me welcome Urs Peyer.
Many thanks for this kind introduction. Dear parents, partners, family members, friends, INSEAD faculty, alumni, staff, it is my great pleasure to be part of this commencement ceremony for the pioneering INSEAD MIM class of 2021. Thank you for zooming in to help us mark this very special day for our MIMs. Dear MIMs, today we celebrate your achievement of completing the coursework part of the most intense and most global MIM in the world. And I'm happy and proud to say that you have been an outstanding class. Parents, partners, friends, and babies, you can really be proud of all the achievements that each and every one of our MIM students has made. And just for parents, partners, and other financiers, students have been working really hard. In fact, I remember when we designed the program, our Dean Ilian Mihov has reminded us that the students are coming from their undergrad and planning 3 days a week of coursework, 2 days a week of career development and club work, and the Saturdays on tutorials may be a little bit of a stretch. Thus, it is almost as if we had planned the MIM curriculum for the pandemic restrictions, where the MIM students were fully engaged during the day on campus, in classwork and group work, then returning home to observe curfew and study some more. So the faculty have invested a lot into the design of the curriculum for the MIMS. And so I wanted to, at this stage, also say a big thank you to our faculty. And I know we're going to be nominating a few of you for outstanding teaching awards in the future. I'm very pleased that when I talked to some of you here in Fontainebleau, and I heard, well, Urs, this course made me really interested in finance or in strategy or in marketing or even programming and analytics. It's really rewarding to hear that faculty and the program have had and have this impact on you. But as you know, even the best preparation would go to waste if it wasn't for engaging students. Thus, a big thank you and a big compliment to you for your dedication and hard work. Your learning has been bearing fruits as you impressed company executives during the marketing practical last October. You've been included in the Global INSEAD McKinsey case competition with the MBAs and won 3rd place there. And you created entrepreneurial ideas in Steve Jick's practical, as well as just recently in the capstone course, which asks you to design a new business idea, taking into account the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, really bringing business and society together. On a more personal note, the MIM program is very dear to my heart, as I had the honor to oversee its development in the last couple of years. I was literally moved to tears when, during a scholarship meeting with INSEAD alumni, 2 of you as MIMs were sharing how you experienced your MIM journey until that point. It was so INSEAD. Intense international, intense diverse, intense eye-opening, intense transformational. I was so proud, and I still am, that you have integrated so well into our INSEAD community. And a big part of this is also thanks to the work of our INSEAD team. Let me start by thanking Thibaut as our MIM program director. 2nd time dad of baby Loic just this week. He supported faculty, staff, and students to create this great journey for you and with you. Thank you also to Agatha, who was looking out for you here in Fontainebleau in person and in Singapore online remotely. Even if we're on Zoom now, I can hear you clap and smile and cheer, so thank you for that. But I wanted to also say thank you to everyone from the degree programs teams. Especially, I wanted to mention Angel, I wanted to mention Jennifer and Cindy, who helped you with traveling around with the visas, Jessica and the career coaches, Katie, Montgomery as the associate dean, and obviously the team that has put together and helped you also from the student life team to put this ceremony together. On the student side, the list is also very long, but let me at least highlight a few special contributions of the student council and the student reps. Loic, as the student council president, has been instrumental in creating the journey together with our INSEAD team. Sarah, Vincent, Bhavesh, Yutong, Jeremy, Jeffrey, Harry, and Hannah for their all intensive contributions to the success of your year. I also know that many of you have worked as ambassadors, and I wanted to thank you for those many initiatives that started prior to you arriving, when you already designed your MIM masks, and it goes through inclusion initiatives all the way to now creating your mementos and memories as a MIM INSEAD class. Each of you in the process practicing leadership, and that was great to see. One last thing, which I hope will be lasting at INSEAD in the MIM program, and that you have set a superb example of, is your generosity. Your generosity with your time to help each other and create new initiatives. Your generosity with thank yous to faculty and staff after a session, after a course, or at the restaurant. It is noticed, I can tell you. Personally, I really appreciated the chocolates for Christmas. And even more so now, because my daughters now think that I actually do something that actually other people appreciate. So your generosity has definitely made my holiday season and gave me inspiration. I know going forward, you will maintain and grow the many relationships you've built within the INSEAD community. I know you'll go to birthday parties and weddings and become godmothers and godfathers of kids of your MIM friends. You celebrate each other's successes, but also know that you will be there for each other in less glorious moments. Bonds established at INSEAD still do require work, but you've built an incredibly solid foundation to have a supportive and caring network going forward. Let me end with my wishes for you. I truly hope that each and every one of you is richer in knowledge, ready to make a positive impact on the companies and the people you'll be working with, but also being richer in friendships from around the globe. Good luck, pioneering class of 21 MIM. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dean Pear, for these words of wisdom. We know that managing the most diverse possible set of 93 future leaders during this pandemic cannot be a piece of cake. We appreciate and forever oblige for all your inputs and efforts to make the MIM what it is today. In fact, as we look back on this challenging year, we want to thank the whole INSEAD faculty and staff for tirelessly working to keep us safe and keep our campuses open. INSEAD is proud to be one of the only MIM programs in the world that has partially resumed in-person classes and managed to keep the campuses open during most part of the year.
And this was no easy task. Indeed, one of the great strengths of INSEAD, a global student community, became one of its biggest challenges when travel restrictions led the class to be scattered around the globe. For the faculty, this meant that they needed to adapt to deliver a new hybrid learning experience, engaging with in-person and virtual students. From Zoom to Yammer to Mentimeter to PolEV to Kahoot, professors have impressed us with their creativity to engage us. And this is why, to thank them for their dedication, the MIM 2021 class has decided to honor them with a few special prizes. We now invite Hannah, the academic representative, to join us and present the Best Faculty Awards.
Thank you, Mimi. Just like Mimi said, as for our students, this year has not been easy on our professors either. From creating courses for a novel master in management from which nobody really knew what to expect, to changing these courses to be delivered on Zoom last minute, to dealing with the beloved see-through masks that seem to suffocate some of our professors, but definitely looked good. All our professors went above and beyond throughout the year to make the MIM learning experience absolutely amazing. As much as all our professors really deserve an award, some stood out especially. So the nominees for the Core Courses Teaching Award are Antonio Fatas for Macroeconomics in Singapore, Georgina Hall for Machine Learning and Optimization in Fonti, and Alexandra Barash for Marketing in Fonti. And the winner for the Best Teaching of Core Courses is Professor Antonio Fatas. Antonio's here with us today online, and he will say a few words to the class to accept his award. Let us welcome Professor Antonio Fatas.
Okay, thank you very much for the award. It's always an honor to receive a teaching award, a great honor. But this time is special for many reasons, at least to me. I mean, the first one, which is the most important one, is that I really enjoy teaching your class. I know you're hearing compliments from Urs and Ilian, but let me add one more from my point of view. I mean, I really found your class to be outstanding. It was lively, you were curious, and you were all really ready to learn. And for a professor, that's a dream. It made my teaching so easily, and I really ended up the course with great memories of your class. So you should all be proud of that for sure. Now, it's also special because this is the first award for the Masters in Management. So I feel like as if my name will be written on the record, like Uruguay in 1930 winning the World Cup. Now, I'm sure it's not the best analogy for some of you, but those of us who like football is the best analogy I can come up with. Now, your class was special for an anecdote that happened to me, I think in the first or the second session. One of your classmates, Olivia, came to me and said that I had taught her father when he did his MBA at INSEAD many, many years ago. And this is the first time that it has happened to me. And I will remember that anecdote forever. Now, the first time I thought about it, I smiled. The idea of teaching 2 generations was sort of very interesting. I had never thought it would happen. Then, of course, I started counting the years and I realized that when I taught her father, it was not even my first year at INSEAD. But then that made me feel a little bit old, but I guess that's life. I cannot do anything about that. So let me just finish congratulating all of you on reaching the end of your academic journey into this program. Enjoy what lies ahead in your career and please stay in touch. I'm sure we'll stay in touch virtually, and I'm hoping that one day we'll be again seeing each other face to face on one of our campuses or maybe somewhere else around the world. So let me finish with a quote from a former governor of the state of California. Hasta la vista. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Antonio. It has been a pleasure to have you as our professor, and we hope you enjoy the award. All right, next up is the Teaching Award for Practical Professors. Our practicals were always a highlight in our periods, give or take the first morning after having finished exams the day before and being absolutely exhausted. Yet our practical professors always pulled us through, and we thoroughly enjoyed getting to see how our learnings could be applied to even more practical aspects. One practical in particular stood out in the nominations, with both professors from this practical being the nominees. And that is our Period 2 practical, Build, Borrow, Buy, and Valuing by Professor Laurence Capron and Professor Adrian Buss, who were both nominees. And the winner for the Practical Teaching Award is actually both Laurence Capron and Adrian Buss. Both professors have expressed their desire to be represented as a team, as this practical really was a team effort and they created it together. This is another great illustration for us of the true INSEAD spirit, both showing leadership and thoughtfulness, and we want to thank our professors for being such great role models for us. Laurence Capron is unable to speak today. However, Adrian is online and he will say a few words on behalf of both of them. So please welcome Professor Adrian Buss.
Yes, great, thank you. So yeah, it's a pleasure to say a few words in both Laurence and my name. And yes, it was a team effort, so I think it's ideal to award it to both of us. So first, a big thank you to the group for receiving that award. It's a great honor. The practical was a newly designed course. It was a mix of strategy and finance, and we invested quite some energy. So it's really nice to see that it worked out so well and is appreciated by the MIM group. We also want to add to the compliments that the MIM group we received already today from many others. And a big thank you for your commitment, right? Our course took place in person while most of the country was still in lockdown. And yet everyone bought in, was present in the classroom, was fully committed, whatever time zone you dialed in at that time. So that also made the practical a very nice and a truly inspiring teaching experience for us. Finally, I would want to add that you should be very proud of your achievements at INSEAD. Many said that, but really be proud, enjoy your day today. We wish you all the best for your next professional and personal projects. And yes, please stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adrian and Laurence, for creating such an amazing practical for us that we will for sure remember forever. This now actually concludes the Teaching Awards, and I will hand the mic right back to our amazing Masters of Ceremony.
Thank you, Hannah. I think so. Thank you, Hannah, for presenting the awards, and congratulations to the nominated faculty and the winners of the awards. It was more than well-deserved. Every class has its own elected MIM council, or will in the future. Serving as the MIM council is a unique opportunity to work closely with INSEAD by representing the voices of the student body. When the team of 4 was elected back in October 2020, shout out to Loic, Harry, Yutong,
And Babash.
We had no idea that this year's responsibilities would be more complicated and high stakes than ever before. By God's and Thibault's grace, an amazing group of 5 phenomenal individuals joined our team as council representatives. Shout out to Sarah, Hannah, Vincent, Jeremy, Jeffrey. As mediators, we were the shoulder the administration counted support from and the voice that the students wanted the admin to hear. Trust me, it was not an easy job. Well, we didn't sign up for one. From working to improve our Zoom learning experiences to brainstorming the best ways to host events like the Midpoint Day, the Unification Day, cohort lunches, and today, our commencement during a pandemic. Our MIM Council has worked round the clock across both campuses to make our MIM year memorable.
Yeah, so a very loud shout out to Loic, Harry, Yutong, Sarah, Hannah, Jeremy, Jeffrey, Vincent, and Bhavesh for all the work that you've put in for the cohorts.
We now invite Loic Shares and Sarah Whitlocks to give the student address.
So, dear classmates, friends, family, Urs, Thibault, Agatha, faculty of INSEAD, but above all, dear classmates, we've arrived at the end of our academic part of the Master in Management program at INSEAD. 10 engaging months have taught us more than we could have ever imagined. Obviously, the academic part has been extremely insightful. I mean, top-notch professors, in-depth case studies, and inspiring guest lectures. It was all part of this journey, but I would like to emphasize that the academic part at INSEAD is way more than just following classes. First of all, the INSEAD experience is everything of it's all about prioritizing. Having multiple deadlines, group dinners, student club events, applications, interviews, all together on a daily basis made us realize that INSEAD and its intensive program is indeed more than just an academic program. Second, making friends for life. As cliche as it sounds, I'm highly convinced that we can say, like no other business school, that we truly became a family throughout the year. The unique opportunity of having on-campus classes, organizing group dinners, moving to Singapore together, having the common enemy named COVID, made us become such a strongly knitted community and therefore so much more than just being classmates. Then the ambitious environment. One of the main drivers for me to excel in what I'm doing is an ambitious environment. I'm confident that in order to optimize your learning curve, you have to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. And from day one, I've had the feeling that I was always able to learn from my classmates on all kinds of different grounds as they were able to challenge my thoughts and showing different perspectives. I truly miss this, and I desperately hope that I'll find it in my next step. Above all, the last couple of months have been about a group of pioneers conquering the first year of the Master in Management at INSEAD while finding themselves in a global pandemic. Yes, I'll admit, we've missed out on study trips, ski trips, big parties, on-campus recruiting activities, guest lectures, Freddy's bar at Fonti. But I would like to argue that once again, as cliche as it sounds, these exceptional times have made us into the persons we are today. We've become resilient, adaptive, rational, grateful, so true leaders. Remember, dear classmates, how many times have we rescheduled our plans and changed them because of COVID, shifting swiftly online or even canceling it? They say to never waste a good crisis, and I would like to argue that we exploited this crisis in the best way possible.
I totally agree with you on that, Loic. We did exploit this year in the best way possible. We did so much that a small overview of our many highlights would not be out of place here. So therefore, allow me to take you on a small trip down memory lane. When thinking back to the beginning of our journey, it's often hard to pinpoint the exact moment it all started. Officially, we had our first day on campus on September 1st, where we explored the campus, took selfies with the masked George Doriot statue, met many people for the first time, and received our beloved yellow name cards and MIM hoodies. But actually, the MIM started way before this. During the summer months leading up to the official start of the program, we all got a first taste of just how special our future cohort would be. Without having met anyone in person, we had a very active group chat where help with any issue was given within 15 minutes. We had speed networking events. We were collaborating and bonding over the P0 coding exercises. We threw paper airplanes across the globe in a class video, and we designed our own INSEAD MIM masks. All these initiatives broke the ice and got everyone excited to start our pioneering MIM year. And then it was finally there. We all packed our bags and moved to Fontainebleau to start the adventure. Period 1 threw us straight in the deep end. It marked the birth of our amazing meme page. It saw us breaking time records on Quantum Tutor for FSA, and even got us excited about anchoring and toilet paper. We had to be all in from day one and quickly formed into the real INSEADers that have 53 things going on at the same time, but will still take the time for a coffee and a quick chat whenever. P1 also saw an incredible amount of leadership initiative from the whole class. We formed the first ever MIM council, and all of us on the council are still honored to be elected and to be able to represent you all. We were also lucky to have elected an amazing group of club ambassadors who have kept us informed on all club activities and who have done an amazing job representing the MIM in their respective clubs. So therefore, thank you all. In period 2, our class was faced with another challenge when France announced a national lockdown. All courses moved online until further notice, and the class dispersed to different locations across the globe to wait it out. This roller coaster period also had a lot of ups. We learned that Python is not just a snake, that with more returns comes more risk, and that it's funny when the whole class has the same Zoom background as the professor. But most of all, this period taught us to be resilient, and that difficult doesn't mean impossible. Period 2 ended on a high note when it was made possible for us to follow the practical on campus by the amazing efforts of our P2 practical professors, the COVID crisis management team, and the campus services team. We want to hereby thank you all again for that. And just like that, we ended 2020 with catchy Christmas tunes, a secret Santa
Yeah, I think I'll take over. So period 3 was a great start to the new year, with a lot of high hopes and excitement for what was to come. We learned that no one can juggle more than 5 cost pools, that innovation is at the basis of basically everything, and that we cracked the durian. On midpoint day, we had our first real point of reflection, and we realized that we had built together what we had built together so far. This moment of gratitude and cute thank you notes brought us even closer together, and will hopefully become a tradition of future MIM classes. Period 3 also marked the end of our stay in Fontainebleau. And to close this chapter, we birthed our MIM 21 time capsules on campus right before leaving for Singapore. We already look forward to opening it in 10 years and reliving all these memories. Even though the start of P1 didn't seem more than a month ago, we suddenly found ourselves on a plane to Singapore to start the second part of our journey. Period 4 opened up our social lives and had us rediscover what it felt like to go out for dinner. The 2 weeks of quarantine upon arrival were made easier by a steady stream of amazing memes and cupcake deliveries. During the classes, we learned that there are a lot of interesting things going on in Argentina. We learned that Mushi is not a great name for a sushi place, and that it's harder than expected to make a deal about chickens. P4 also marked the time where the class was the most complete. We celebrated this in true INSEAD fashion with our own MIM Unification Day. This will forever be celebrated as the day the pioneering MIM class was unified, and is eternalized by our very own MIM Pioneer Plaque next to the MBA Pioneer Plaque on the Singapore campus. After the P4 practicals were finished, it dawned on most of us that there was only one period left to our 10-month journey. This last period showcased the diversity in the class to the fullest through the elective bidding. Most people were able to secure a spot in all courses of their highest interest, and the schedule was made in such a way that any combination of courses was possible. And just like that, the ending was near. Just like P1 had a lot of first, P5 had a lot of last. The less town hall, the less classes, the less time using that yellow name tag, and many more. Although these last came faster than expected, they ended an unconventional year in an unconventional way, And they opened the door for an even bigger party next year for our hopefully in-person graduation ceremony at the Château of Fontainebleau. As you can hear, this year has been quite a ride. It had ups, downs, somersaults, U-turns, and many uncertainties. There is only one thing that is certain that perfectly summarizes our class. When you put together exceptional people to form an exceptional group, great things will happen. And now my part comes again. As previously mentioned, we truly are champions. One could see it in the simple things like a 100% response rate in surveys or the highest participation rate for Giving Day across all INSEAD classes. One could see it in the tons of initiatives taken by literally everyone in class. One could see it in the way we have helped and supported each other
I'll send you the one that I see for you.
during the Sorry, I was muted. One could see it in the way we've helped and supported each other during the application process for jobs. Or one could see in the way we pioneers found our way in the chaotic, intensive first year at the Master in Management at INSEAD. There's literally no way you cannot see that we, MIM 21, are truly champions. And with that in mind, I'd like to close off with a short train of thoughts I've been having lately, because it made me think, if in these 10 months, we already built such friendships, created such adventures, and achieved these beautiful things, then what on earth are we going to achieve in the long term? I mean, who's going to stop us from making it to becoming a partner at a big firm? Who's going to stop us from building that #1 VC in the world? Shout out to Jeff and Dom. Who's going to stop us from re-engineering the Tower of Pisa to a proper straight tower? Who's going to stop us from saving the planet? No one. And in my opinion, there is a bright future ahead for all of us. And it's just a matter of time before we make our dreams come true. So thank you once again for this beautiful year. It's been one of the most beautiful years in my life, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Loic. Thank you, Sarah, for reminding us of what a crazy journey INSEAD was. And again, despite the Zoom glitches, and yeah, it shows us the resilience that we're capable of. And again, we want to thank everyone who contributed through various roles of leadership, whether formal or informal, to organize events and activities. Like yoga classes, shout out to Pauline and Florence. Quarantine workouts, shout out to Elena. The Oktoberfest that failed to happen, but still, shout out to Sarah, Club 8, and the Germans. But also the many times we supported contact or COVID cases, Club 8 parties, beer pong tournaments, and more, all legal activities. As Sarah said, when you put, or it was Loic actually, when you put exceptional people together to create an exceptional group, great things happen. But even amongst exceptional people, some of us stood out. We now invite the 2 students with the highest GPA of our class, the 2 people that managed to beat the curve. The first one can answer any questions fastest than Google in 12 languages, and all of that in a fashionable manner. The second one has the kindest heart and a mind working faster than his mouth. He can go from talking about butterfly tattoos to describing the beauty of the city of London in the same sentence. Please welcome Hendrik Hans and Stefano Pizzoli. Woo!
Thank you, Bhavesh. Thank you, Muriel.
Allow me to start by letting you in on some behind the scenes of how we ended up here. It's the night of Tuesday on Wednesday, 1:07 a.m., following the SDG bootcamp. Got a lot of time zones, right? An email comes in, T-ball. Did I not have my camera on in class yesterday? Maybe an invitation to the baby shower. I wasn't prepared for the actual content of the message. Stefano and I were told that we'd achieved a special accomplishment during our journey at INSEAD. We were valedictorians. Excitement soon turned into cold sweat, however, as in many other moments this year, we were called to action and were given the task to seal one of the greatest experiences of our lives in just a few words. That's when a series of questions started popping up in our minds. Stefano, what did we just live? What was the true essence of the MIM? We've gotten this far, we've learned so much, but how can we now actually analyze this question scientifically. We were totally lost. But then we received a sign of destiny. We saw this. This is the MIM.
A graph, you may ask yourself. Sure, the graph. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts because the graph we're watching is the quintessence of the MIM. It is the quintessence of life. Yes, he should have better told Walter Mitty before he left his job to go to the North Pole. Life is a roller coaster, and the MIM was exactly this. You're watching the unpredictable fluctuations of GameStop in the past 10 months. It may seem look like a joke, but actually, this is exactly the MIM. This is exactly our experience. Yes, what you're thinking is right. Neither Elon Musk nor Wall Street bets influence this line like the MIM do. Keep in mind the main trends that we are going to analyze together. First, the steep increase at the beginning, then the dramatic fall just soon after, and then the rebound to go back up, and who knows what's next. But let's start from the beginning. Everything started 10 months ago, in a sunny September in Fontainebleau. The beginning of an exponential growth of emotions, of learnings, of memories. Fontainebleau. Sun, peace, forest, green, new faces everywhere. The lovely chateau, the ugly Marcelods, days in the amphi, nights at Glasgow. Barbecue, talking, sharing, discovering, thinking together, trying, creating, failing sometimes. And then the risk, invention, creativity, new perspectives on lives, a dream come true. One of the things I'll never forget of that initial experience was diversity. People with 7 passports, 6 different nationalities, and speaking 10 languages at the same time. A truly global melting pot to create the tomorrow's leaders. The analytical skills of the German panzers. The sweetness of the Belgian chocolate. The open-mindedness of the Indians destroying my pasta, putting tikka masala on top of it, but actually teaching us what giving a flavor to life was. The 20 Lebanese weeks. The charming vibes and voices of the Italians. The Italians are coming. The smile to life of the Caribbeans, who make you feel like in a peaceful atoll, even 10 minutes before the FSA exam. What about the reliability of a Swiss watch? The unique hospitality of the French, hosting us like true local pal.
But then, just like our beloved GameStop, the MIM student was swept off their cloud. Spirits took a dive as a wave of setbacks arrived within the month of November and challenged our MIM. Our first job applications, submitted a month earlier with unwavering optimism and determination, were met with automatic rejection emails. The words, "We regret to inform you," burned on our retina. The INSEAD rejection bell sounding more like the Big Ben, a new ring every hour. Then it was President Macron's turn to add to the tragedy. On the 29th of October, France announced its second national lockdown. The news came in abruptly and struck the MIM in its core. It stole much of our on-campus experience, closed the doors of our beloved Club Aid, sabotaged Alex's third attempt at completing his odyssey to Fontainebleau. But above all, it challenged the closely knit herd that the MIM student thrives in. It was bizarre not seeing those 90-odd faces on a daily basis, and to have Zoom become our new playground. COVID-19 would become even closer. I wasn't at all concerned when I felt some common cold symptoms coming up. Surely it must have been a cold, right? Reality hit hard, however, when I lost my sense of smell and taste right in between a pain chocolat and a lemon tart. 8 of our friends fell in battle along with me. They were a tough 3 weeks in isolation, but I could not have hoped for a more amazing group of people to share them with. thank you to OG Korean crew and big fan of your work, trivia team. Unexpectedly, COVID for me created and solidified friendships that last way after Mimu's Devil's Shoes and Simon's Rosé cured our illness.
But after the challenging COVID times, here comes the rebound. After the age of resilience, a whole new world opened to the MIM, when the time came to transfer halfway across the globe. Finally, we would all move to the tropical Singapore. And with Singapore, we experienced the rebound. It was another extraordinary escalation of mind-blowing discoveries and unforgettable memories. But this time, we knew there was something more. Actually, that adventure started off with some more challenges. First of all, the infamous SHN. My first 2 weeks in Singapore didn't come with fresh air, let alone beaches and cocktails from C'est La Vie. Pasta was never on the menu at Shangri-La. I was actually awarded chicken rice 3 times per day. And at the end of the week, I started questioning whether that was a sign of destiny. Stefano, become pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan. However, the pain was shared and softened by presents and food deliveries from classmates that had already regained their freedom. Not to mention the healing effects of 4 kilos of Parmesan cheese. And when the long-awaited freedom came, it was all the more sweet. There was a much stronger team spirit, determination to start building the launchpad for our future careers. By being all together in person, we felt more mature, more cohesive, and definitely more motivated to build something bigger, something we can look back on now and in the future and be proud of. I'll never forget the first day I saw Jacob and Alex in 3D, or the first double espresso at Grind Brew. Singapore scattered us around its neighborhoods, but we proved resilience once again. So we created, these groups of households all over the cities, witnessing the true MIM spirit, and eventually leaving our footprint in the Lion City. From the tropical forest of Botania to the roaring street of Keystone, we conquered the entire city. And in the blink of an eye, we found ourselves here, today. In a year where even doing a class in each other's physical presence looked impossible, we succeeded in leaving our comfort zones and proved ourselves what resilience is.
And in a year where nations closed their borders, we went on a journey around the globe.
In a year where the easy choice was to play safe, we followed our heart and intuition to shape a new program from zero.
In a year where social connections looked harder than ever to maintain, we built the strongest friendships of our life.
In a year where maintaining order and preserving the status quo were the common trends, we decided to embrace the power of creative disruption. By leaving our jobs or academic paths and joining a journey like no others.
In a year where everyone started questioning even their strongest certainties, we got to know who we really are through challenges and the unexpected.
We are certain that the ancient Greek aphorism, gnosis auton, know thyself, helps understand not only the decisions and the experiences we made, but also the true reason why we found ourselves here, why we started this journey, to understand who we truly are. And once we've achieved this, we are called to action. We must focus now on 2 things for the future.
First, to stay true to yourselves, to remain pioneers wherever we'll go. We need to be risk takers, as we have been in the last 10 months, to be hungry for what's new while remaining humble. We need to sail through blue oceans. We need to reshape the world around us, always ready to rethink the way things are done.
And second, to work day and night to deliver an added value to society. Creating an added value requires that we lift the bar in any situation we will find ourselves, and that we do so by being truly motivated by a strong passion. We have the talents, the skills, and the luck to be in the position to become responsible leaders able to transform business and society. But beware, it is not a choice anymore. It is now a duty to be honored and fulfilled through our future decisions. We truly believe that this is exactly what's next for us, to be pioneers and to deliver an added value to society. Well, since MIM is sharing and teamwork, we now want to give the floor to you. We want you to tell us what's next for all of us. So I invite you now to open Mentimeter and type what's next for the MIM. The words of hope. Hendrik, if you want, we can read some of them that inspires us. Success, champagne.
Club 80, growth mindset.
Consulting. Eternal friendship. Too much. I'm kidding.
As the future of the MIM takes shape right in front of our eyes here, the time has come for us to say our final words. And if there's one word that has resonated through the MIM during these 10 months, it is gratitude. We therefore want to dedicate these last minutes to everyone who has supported, loved, taught, funded, motivated, consoled, pushed, or otherwise enabled us to be here where we are today.
A word of gratitude to professors who never left an opportunity to engage us. To the staff who have kept this program running through turbulent pandemic times. To Thibaut and Agatha, who to us were the face of the MIM. To our parents for their unwavering love and support. To our families, to our beloved ones, to our friends whom we can always count on. And an extra thank you from the bottom of our heart to each and every member of this exceptional crew. This is the MIM 21. You are the MIM of the future. Thank you all for this amazing journey. Per aspera ad astra.
Thank you, Hendrik and Stefano, for a trip down the memory lane. In a year of ambiguity, where some of us never even had the chance to meet each other in person, it is powerful to reflect together on our journey and see how it ties us together. During this year, we lived through lockdown on both Fonty and Singi campuses. That being said, shout out to endless nights of Netflix, Amazon Prime, and God knows what, that kept us alive during those unusual times.
Once again, congratulations to Hendrik and Stefano, and we are sure that you made Thibaut proud. Speaking of which, our next speaker will be Thibaut Seguret, our program director. Thibaut is from France and holds a Master of Computer Science and an MBA from INSEAD, of course. He has over 12 years of managerial experience. After his MBA, he followed his passion for education when he launched a startup to challenge the way teenagers and young adults think about their careers. But more than this, he's one of the minds behind the MIM, the Kahoot master, the man to 1,000 socks, very disputed title against Simon, by the way, the one who taught us how to express gratitude. Since day one, Thibaut has been present to support us in this incredible journey. He laid the foundation of the MIM culture and its values: engagement, excellence, but also kindness and creativity. In these challenging times, He went above and beyond to give us the best learning experience. But most importantly, he empowered us to be active participants to the creation of a new INSEAD MIM identity. His dedication to this program is unquestionable, and in fact, is here with us today just 3 days after becoming the proud father of Loïc Tristan Séguret. Congratulations to you and your wife, Thibaut, sorry. And we're happy to see you build the MIM 44 badge. And with the name of our president, Loïc, and our consulting rep, Tristan, we're sure he will accomplish great things. Please welcome our program director, Thibaut Séguret. Woo! This is not Thibaut?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Muriel and Bhavesh. Well, not often are we given a blank page to write our own story, clean slate from which everything is possible. Sometimes we know the story we're about to write will reach beyond us, will impact others. I like to think those precious opportunities come with responsibility, with the duty to excel, to impress, to grow, better ourselves, because the story we write will become an inspiration for others. Inspiration to follow the example, inspiration to excel, to grow, and in due time, inspire others. As the MIM pioneers, you received such a canvas. You took the immense responsibility, define what the INSEAD MIM would be, a duty towards yourself, towards INSEAD, duty towards future MIM students, a commitment towards everyone who believed in you, from your parents to those who supported you, responsibility to INSEAD for staff and faculty who invested years of a life in you. You have prevailed. I stopped counting times where you showed initiative, gratitude, maturity. I have countless examples, MIM students showing undeniable leadership, resilience, thoughtfulness. I have felt proud to see how you supported each other the most challenging time, never gave in to pettiness or bitterness. I have witnessed your courage, your ability to pivot, your endurance. Throughout the year, I had one thought. This is INSEAD. More importantly, this is the INSEAD MIM. From a blank page, you have written a vibrant and inspiring INSEAD story. Your story is the story of how MIM students joined INSEAD, made INSEAD feel like you've always been part of it. The MIM started as an extension of our mission, but it is you who showed how the MIM makes INSEAD complete. You have earned the respect of faculty, staff, and alumni. Your story, the story of how young undergraduates went through the INSEAD formula and emerged as capable, hardworking, adaptable professionals. You've convinced recruiters who had never seen the INSEADers this young that you belonged, that you were true INSEADers. The story tells how 93 people came together from all over the world and told the world who they are. Today, INSEAD MIM rhymes with independence, intensity, innovativeness. The MIM is a place where gratefulness is the norm. You have topped the charts repeatedly. Today, you deserve the MIM with a capital I. Today, could not be more proud of what you've shown to the world. Did that during a global pandemic. I know how hard this year has been, but looking back, I think it's been the best moment in time to show your true potential. Your steel has been forged in the hot fire of constant uncertainty, constant change, fear and anxiety. Yet, here we are today. Your victory is complete. COVID made it undeniable. And you're about now to turn one page and move on to the next. This is a new blank canvas, which I hope will be the start of a fulfilling career and a fulfilling life. Remember, no one will ever take away your year at INSEAD. You never truly leave INSEAD, because INSEAD is the place where you learn to see the world through new eyes. I hope you see INSEAD like home. I share that home. As someone sharing your home with you, I'm eager to see which stories you bring back home. Each one will be different, unique. Cannot wait to hear about them. Each of your stories will make INSEAD more diverse. You go on with your professional exposure and hopefully graduate. in a couple of months, you will learn that your last class at INSEAD is not the end of INSEAD, it's a new beginning. And holding, hopefully, in a couple of months, your INSEAD degree in your hands will not be the end of INSEAD either, another beginning. I know the story you write from now on will be an inspiring one. Will you inspire others through your professional success? Maybe because you're an influential leader. Will you create a company? Will you overcome incredible challenges? Will you transform the world? Perhaps a bit of all of that. There's no unique formula. The story you write from now on is your own. And know that there's no wrong path. I could say that now is the time for you to start being an inspiration. But that would be wrong. You have already started. By now, representing INSEAD should already feel like a second nature. It should feel like you're representing who you are, because you are INSEAD. You are already a source of inspiration to future MIM students. I've seen many MIM candidates be impressed by you and aspire to be you. Your role as an INSEAD MIM ambassador will be a role that you will keep in your life as an alumni. You will keep representing INSEAD, will keep shaping it. So I'm asking you, be what you want INSEAD to be. The world is watching. Now, as educators, it's our job to help you grow, what we strive for. And there's no better moment than when we can share the epic stories of what our students or former students are doing. We use that to inspire others. You know, I'm a father for a second time, a couple of days. As a father, I hope my children will become great people. My job to create a spark in them, become the best versions of themselves. I'll raise both of myself, Raphael and Louis, telling them your story. I know I will use those stories to inspire them with 93 examples. I will narrate how the MIM brought together 93 people from different cultures and ideas, how they became responsible leaders, transformed the world, society. Pioneering class of MIM 21, I am grateful for the example you've set of how awesome you are. You are the MIM with a capital I. Thank you. Hospital, but he's doing fine.
Thank you, Thibaut. It is always a pleasure to have you. Like Tristan Segure, if you're watching this, know that you cannot get a more lively and involved program director for you. Sorry.
And on these words, we're now reaching the end of our commencement ceremony. It was a pleasure to present this event today to gather our class, our friends, our families, professors, and all the academic body that made this incredible experience possible. It feels like yesterday when we first arrived in Fanti, with many of our classmates still abroad. But despite the circumstances and the many challenges, we were welcomed by Thibaut, Agatha, Urs, the CDC with Emmanuel, Jessica, Jean, and so many others, the faculty and the staff sharing the same enthusiasm that we had. For us, students, it was the beginning of a new, exciting experience. For them, it was the accomplishment of months, if not years, of hard work and dedication. What a journey it was. Amid social distancing, COVID clusters, campus closures, travel restrictions, we managed to survive weekly PCR tests, an intense program balancing lessons, assignments, interviews. We traveled across the world, moving to Singapore and experiencing that feeling of freedom after months of lockdown and curfews. Along the way, we created a community with classmates from all over the world. And as the pioneering class of the INSEAD MIM, with the support of an amazing administration, we got to build a new face of INSEAD. The challenges we went through together have created the bond between us, which I am sure will last for the years.
This is not the end, but the beginning of something new, something crazy. Today, we become full contributing members of a humongous and well-established alumni community. This community has shown us support from the very start of our INSEAD journey and has never shied away from helping us at any stage in life during INSEAD. They're amazing and we are proud to join the cohort. To all the alumnus watching, I'm still looking for a job. I'm kidding. No, actually, the alumni community answered with open arms when INSEAD reached out to them to support the MIM class of 2021. And will forever be grateful for that. In fact, we are ready to join their ranks and give back to the future MIM classes and MBA too, hopefully. I'll not take more of your time and end by saying that each one of us has the potential to change and win the world. So let's goddamn do it. See you on the top, lads. Cheers. How you doing?
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke